Right now, within a meter of you, there is almost certainly a piece of China. Not made in China, a piece of China itself, sold back to the world as your phone, your laptop, the motor in your car. They are called rare earth elements, 17 metals most people never learn the names of. They are why a magnet can be brutally strong and a missile can find its target. Modern life runs on them. Here is the first lie hidden in the name. Rare earths are not rare. Most are more common than gold or silver found in the US, Australia, Brazil, India, Vietnam. The problem was never finding them. The problem is the chemistry. These elements are tangled together in the same rock, and prying them apart takes hundreds of stages of acid and solvent. Expensive, toxic, and often radioactive. So the real map of power doesn't show where rare earths are buried. It shows who is willing to do the dirty work of turning that rock into metal. And on that map, almost the whole world is one color. That color is China, but not mostly because of its soil. China mines about 70% of the world's rare earths, a huge share, but one that is slowly falling as others start to dig. The real grip is the refining. China controls roughly 85 to 90% of the world's capacity to separate these elements. For the heavy rare earths, its share is close to total. And then the magnets. The game ends in a small, ferociously strong magnet that spins your motor and steers a weapon. China makes most of them, exporting tens of thousands of tons a year. This did not happen by accident or by luck. It was a deliberate strategy, built over 30 years of state investment and subsidy, while the West made a quieter choice of its own. The West decided it did not want this industry. The refining is filthy. It scars land, poisons water, leaves radioactive waste. The dirty middle drifted to the one place willing to absorb the damage. We handed it over. By the time anyone did the math, the dependence was total and almost invisible. The elements disappear inside finished products, which is exactly what makes them a perfect instrument of control. The first warning came in 2010. After a collision near disputed islands, shipments from China to Japan dried up for about 2 months. Beijing denied any embargo. The factories that stalled told a different story. It was a demonstration, a reminder that a supply chain can be a weapon and that the safety on that weapon was held in a single capital. For years, it stayed a threat, then a habit. In 2023, China restricted gallium and germanium. In 2025, as a trade war escalated, it went to the core, licensing the defense-critical rare earths. The effect was immediate. In a single month, rare earth magnet exports fell by roughly 70% year over year. The price of dysprosium nearly tripled. Factories choked on 3 continents. Nowhere is the dependence sharper than in defense. Take the F-35, the most advanced fighter America builds. You will often hear each one contains more than 400 kilograms of rare earths. That number is disputed, but the weight misses the point. In 2022, one Chinese-made magnet alloy inside the F-35 was enough to halt deliveries of the whole program, until the Pentagon issued a waiver and kept buying it. That is the trap in one image. Not a country that lacks the metal, a country that cannot say no to it. But here is what the panic skips. This is a dial, not a switch. A clean, overnight cutoff would be a weapon pointed at itself, proving why the world must escape. Every squeeze speeds up the search for a way out. And that search is finally, expensively underway. The Pentagon took a direct stake in the company reopening Mountain Pass in California and guaranteed a price floor so Chinese price cutting can't strangle it in the crib. Australia's Linus is building heavy rare earth separation outside China for the first time. Europe has one separator in Estonia, and some firms are building powerful magnets with no rare earths at all. But none of this is fast. A new plant can take 5 to 10 years to permit and build in the West. And the hardest gap is not mining or refining. It is the magnets, where capacity outside China is still a rounding error. Which brings us to the strangest twist. In late 2025, after a single meeting between the American and Chinese presidents, China agreed to suspend its harshest new controls. For 1 year, not remove them, suspend them. The licensing machine is still built, the paperwork still exists. Buyers say the controls never fully lifted, and the clock on that truce runs out in late 2026. Because the trap was never the metal is everywhere. The trap was letting one country build the only machine on Earth that can turn it into what we cannot live without, and the off switch sits in someone else's hand. We didn't lose a resource. We handed over a choke point, and one summit didn't dismantle it. It just turned it off for a year and started the clock.